Why not try to... So you know how Donald Trump is continually saying that the economy is booming, and then data like jobs numbers come out and it shows that the economy isn't booming, and instead of addressing why the economy isn't booming or how we can create more jobs, Donald Trump and his administration instead fires the person who reports the data. Pretty soon, you'll have no one but people like myself giving you the raw and honest truth, because everyone in the government whose responsibility is to report the honest truth to you or the data will be fired. We'll have to go out and find the information, find the data to report to you, because again, Donald Trump wants to be able to tell you lies over and over again, because the data does not match the rhetoric. And if the data doesn't match the rhetoric, how do you make the rhetoric the truth? You get rid of the data, and that is what he's doing. Recently, John Deere announced that they're going to have to fire over 200 employees, and that's just the start. They think there's going to be mass layoffs. And why? Donald Trump's tariffs. They're not mincing words here. They're saying it's because of the tariffs, but don't expect anyone from the Trump administration to report that data to you.
We begin with breaking news. In just the last 45 minutes, Deere & Company announcing another round of layoffs. Deere has confirmed a total of 238 people will be laid off. That includes 115 people at Harvester Works in East Moline, 52 people at Seating and Cylinder in Moline, and 71 people at Foundry in Waterloo, Iowa. Deere says the layoffs are due to decreased demand and lower order volumes. The company notified employees today, but in the same statement talking about layoffs, Deere also said it remains committed to U.S. manufacturing, saying it's investing nearly $20 billion over the next decade to upgrade and enhance domestic manufacturing sites. And this all comes one day after Deere's third quarter earnings call. In that call, the agriculture company said President Trump's tariffs will cost Deere an estimated $600 million this year. Deere says the tariffs have already led to more than $300 million in cost, lowering net incomes for this quarter. Yesterday, Deere's stocks dropped 7% after the news dropped. Now, we first heard about today's round of layoffs from viewers who sent in news tips. We'll continue to follow this story both on air and online.
So the fuck around was in November, and the find out is the fact that many of these towns with these small factories that fuel the economy of those small towns overwhelmingly supported him in November. Even though we said a tariff is a tax, those taxes will lead to higher prices, which will lead to layoffs, and they said, nope, we trust Donald Trump. We're going to go with him. And now many of them are going, well, this is not what I voted for. This is not what I expected. Who could have seen this coming? I don't know. Watch my videos from before November. I saw it coming. Many people like me saw it coming. But again, Donald Trump wants to be these people's only source of information, and that's why he's getting rid of the experts. One expert that he would have gotten rid of a long time ago if he could is the Fed Chair Jerome Powell, but he hasn't been able to. But believe me, as soon as Jerome Powell's time is up, he can't wait to get someone in there who's going to do exactly what he says. But let's make it clear here. Understand something. Donald Trump is the person who nominated the Fed Chair Jerome Powell. He was around during Donald Trump's first administration, went through the Biden administration, and now he's back again. So he is a Trump guy. He is a Republican who Donald Trump sang his praises when he nominated him. But when Jerome Powell gives you information about why he's not going to raise interest rates, why things are the way they are, he's coming from an expert standpoint in economics. He doesn't have a dog in this race except for trying to save you money. So when he talks about these things and Donald Trump comes out and says, oh, he's just doing this to make me look bad, again, remember, Donald Trump is the person who nominated him.
Rising unemployment. At the same time, GDP growth has slowed notably in the first half of this year to a pace of 1.2%, roughly half the 2.5% pace in 2024. The decline in growth has largely reflected a slowdown in consumer spending. As with the labor market, some of the slowing in GDP likely reflects slower growth of supply or potential output. Turning to inflation, higher tariffs have begun to push up prices in some categories of goods. Estimates based on the latest available data indicate that total PCE prices rose 2.6% over the 12 months ending in July. Excluding the volatile food and energy categories, core PCE prices rose 2.9%, above their level of a year ago.
And the crazy thing is, these things are undisputable. What he's saying, you can actually look up. We know that unemployment is rising. We know that GDP is rising. We know that job growth is slowing. We know all these things are happening, but here's your proof that Donald Trump, being people's only source of information, is actually working. Because I came across a comment on that video from someone who said this: he's so full of shit. He dropped the rates 3 times to make it look like Biden's economy was booming. He's coming with any excuse not to drop the rates because Trump's in office, yet he's going to build a swimming pool on top of the Federal Reserve. Every single thing that is in that comment was said by Donald Trump. It's not true. He didn't drop rates to make Joe Biden look good. Again, Donald Trump nominated him. Donald Trump appointed him. Why would he be doing these things? It's so amazing to me. And he's gotten away with this so many times. You know, at the beginning of his presidency, the economy was booming. At the beginning of his first presidency, the economy was booming. Literally, the day he stepped in office, he said, look at the numbers. They're great. They're great. Look at that. We know that is because of Barack Obama's economy before him. We know that. 75 months of job growth under Barack Obama that Donald Trump steps into and says, look at all these things I did. And people believe it. Just like this comment, people believe it because Donald Trump said it.
It was pretty good because it was my economy. We had 75 straight months of job growth that I handed over to him. It wasn't something he did. I had spent 8 years cleaning up the mess that the Republicans had left me the last time. So just in case everybody has a hazy memory, he didn't do nothing.
And please, don't take my word for it or Barack Obama's word for it. Look up the data. But unfortunately, if we keep allowing Donald Trump to do what he's doing, there will be no more data. We fucked around, now we're finding out. Buckle up, because there are going to be several more months of reports like this. Period.
Don't want no enemies or ops. Envy in their heart, I tell them stop. Vacation on the yacht.